Hello everyone, today I will be reading the story of Winnie the Pooh in the Haunted Tree. Once upon a time, a very long time ago now, about last Friday, Winnie the Pooh lived in a forest, all by himself under the name of Sanders. One day, when he was out walking, he came to an open place in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of this place was a large oak tree. And from the top of the tree there came a loud buzzing noise. Winnie the Pooh sat down on the foot of the tree, put his head between his paws, and began to think. First of all, he said to himself, "That buzzing noise means something. You don't get a buzzing noise like that. Just buzzing and buzzing without meaning something. If there's a buzzing noise, somebody's making a buzzing noise. And the only reason for making a buzzing noise that I know is because of you're a bee." Then he thought another long time ago and said, "The only reason for being a bee that I know is making honey." And then he got up and said, "And the only reason for making honey is so as I can eat it." So he began to climb the tree. He climbed and he climbed and he climbed. And as he climbed, he sang a little song to himself. It went like this. "Isn't it funny how a bear likes honey? Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wonder why he does." Then he climbed a little further, and then a little further, and then just a little further. By that time, he had thought of another song. It's a very funny thought that if bears were bees, they'd build their nest at the bottom of the trees. And that being so, if that bees were bears, we shouldn't have to climb up all these stairs. He was getting rather tired by this time, so that is why he sang a complaining song. He was nearby there now, and if he just stood on that branch, oops, crack. "Oh, help!" said Pooh, as he dropped 10 feet on the branch below him. "If only I hadn't," he said, as he bounced 20 feet on the next branch. "You see, what I meant to do," he explained, as he turned head over heels and crashed to another branch 30 feet below. "What I meant to do. Of course it was rather," he admitted, as he slithered very quickly through the next 6 branches. "It all comes, I suppose," he decided, as he said goodbye to the last branch, spun round 3 times, and flew gracefully into a gorse bush. "It all comes of liking honey so much. Oh, help!" He crawled out of a gorse bush, brushed the prickles from his nose, and began to think again. And the first person he thought of was Christopher Robin. So Winnie the Pooh went round to his friend Christopher Robin, who lived behind the green door in another part of the forest. "Good morning, Christopher Robin," he said. "Good morning, Winnie the Pooh," said Shoo. "I wonder if you've got such a thing a balloon about you." "A balloon?" "Yes, I just said to myself, coming along. I wonder if Christopher Robin has such a thing as balloon. I just said it to myself, thinking of balloons and wondering." "What do you want a balloon for?" you said. Winnie the Pooh looked round to see that nobody was listening, put his paw to his mouth, and said in a deep whisper, "Honey." "But you don't get honey with balloons." "I do," said Pooh. "Well, it just happened that you had been to a party the day before you at the house of your friend Piglet, and you had balloons at the party. You had a big green balloon, and one of Rabbit's relations had a big blue one, and had left it behind, being really too young to go to a party at all. And so you had brought the green one, and the blue one with you at home. Which one you would like?" you asked Pooh. He put his head between his paws and thought very carefully. "It's like this," he said. "When you go after honey with the balloon, The great thing is not to let the bees know you're coming. Now, if you think you have a green balloon, they might think you were only part of the tree and not notice you. And if you have a blue balloon, they might think you were only part of the sky and not notice you. And the question is, which is most likely? Wouldn't they then notice you're underneath the balloon? You asked. They might or they might not, asked Winnie the Pooh. You never can tell with bees. He thought for a moment and said, I shall try to look like a small black cloud that will deceive them. Then you had better have the blue balloon, you said, and so it was decided. Well, you both went out with the blue balloon, and you took your gun with you just in case, as you always did, and Winnie the Pooh went to a very muddy place that he knew of, and rolled until he was black all over. And then, when the balloon was blown up as big, and you and Pooh were both holding onto the string, you let go suddenly, and Pooh Bear floated gracefully up into the sky and stayed there, level with the top of the tree and about 20 feet away from it. Hooray! You shouted. Isn't that fine? Shouted Winnie the Pooh down to you. What do I look like? You look like a bear holding onto the balloon, you said. Not, said Pooh anxiously. Not like a small black cloud in the blue sky. Not very much. Ah, well, perhaps from up here it looks different. And, as I say, you never can tell with bees. There was no wind to blow him nearer to the tree, so there he stayed. He could see the honey. He could smell the honey, but he couldn't quite reach the honey. After a little while he called down to you. Christopher Robin, he said in a loud whisper. Hello, I think the bees suspect something. What sort of thing? I don't know, but something tells me that they're suspicious. Perhaps they think that you're after the honey. It may be that you never can tell with bees. There was another little silence, and then he called down to you again. Christopher Robin. Yes? Have you an umbrella in your house? I think so. I wish you would bring it out here, and walk up down with it, and look up at me every now and then, and say, toot toot, it looks like rain. I think if you did that, it would help the deception which we are practicing on these bees. Well, you laughed to yourself. Silly old bear, but you didn't say it aloud, because you were so fond of him, and you went home for your umbrella. Oh, there you are, called down Winnie the Pooh, as soon as you got back to the tree. I was beginning to get anxious. I have discovered that the bees are now definitely suspicious. Shall I put my umbrella up? You said. Yes, but wait a moment. We must be practical. The important bee to deceive is the queen bee. Can you see which is the queen bee from there? No, a pity. Well, now if you walk up and down with your umbrella, saying, toot toot, it looks like rain, I shall do what I can by singing a little cloud song, such as a cloud might sing. Go. So while you walk up and down and wondered if it would rain, Winnie the Pooh sang this song. How sweet to be a cloud floating in the blue. Every little cloud always sings aloud. How sweet to be a cloud floating in the blue. It makes him very proud to be a little cloud. The bees were still buzzing as suspiciously as ever. Some of them indeed left their nest and flew all around the cloud as it began the second verse of his song. And one bee sat down at the nose of a cloud for a moment, and then got up again. Christopher, oh, Robin, called out the cloud. Yes, I have just been thinking, and I have come to a very important decision. These are the wrong sort of bees. Are they? Quite the wrong sort. So I should think they would make the wrong sort of honey, shouldn't you? Would they? Yes, so I think I shall come down. How? Asked you. Winnie the Pooh hadn't thought about this. If he let go of the string, He would fall, bump, and then he didn't like the idea of that. So he thought for a long time and said, Christopher Robin, you must shoot the balloon with your gun. Have you got your gun? Of course I have, you said. But if I do that, it will spoil the balloon, you said. But if you don't, said Pooh, I shall have to let go, and that would spoil me. When you put it like this, you saw how it was, and you aimed very carefully at the balloon, and fired. Oh, said Pooh, did I miss? You asked. You didn't exactly miss, said Pooh, but you missed the balloon. I'm so sorry, you said. You fired again, and then this time you hit the balloon, and the air came slowly out, and Winnie the Pooh floated down to the ground. But his arms were so stiff from holding onto the string of the balloon. All the time that they stayed up straight in the air for more than a week, and whenever a fly came and settled on his nose, he had to blow it off. And I think, but I'm not sure, that is why but I'm not and I think, but I'm not sure that is why he was always called Pooh. So the moral lesson of this story is that Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree imparts a valuable moral lesson about the importance of moderation and self-control. The story follows Winnie the Pooh, who is excessively fond of honey. In his pursuit of satisfying his sweet tooth, Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's front door after overindulging in honey. The moral lesson encourages viewers, particularly children, to practice moderation in their desires and not let their cravings lead to excess. It highlights the consequences of indulging in something without restraint and emphasizing the virtue of self-control. The timeless lesson is applicable in various aspects of life, teaching individuals to balance their desires with responsible and measured behavior. And that's all for today. Thank you all for watching and listening. Bye-bye!